Can my gay marriage be blocked or nullified by the Trump administration? Will existing same-sex marriages be affected if Obergefell is overturned? Yes. And here's what you need to know. This is another episode in our Be Prepared, Not Scared series. Marriage affords a couple 1,138 state and federal rights. And according to our pal, the gay lawyer on TikTok, it is not if or how your marriage can be nullified by the government, it's can the rights inherent to that marriage be taken away. No one will take away the fact that you went and got a marriage license and you've had a wedding and you got that certified and you've been married. That will always be true. But will your marriage qualify for a new burden of proof to be respected by the federal government? That can change. And that is the path that we think they're going to take to nullifying gay marriage and stopping gay marriage in the first place. Now, the gay lawyer states that although the president cannot directly overturn the ruling in Obergefell or easily repeal the Respect for Marriage Act, Congress can and very likely will be making moves to nullify your rights. Because remember, in the Respect for Marriage Act, there was a line saying that we also respect religious autonomy. And that was something that the Republicans demanded be in there for them to sign the Respect for Marriage Act, which was supposed to protect gay marriage, which I have said from the beginning did not go far enough, and the language left a huge loophole, and now here we are. Stopping marriages from happening through religious exemption will lead to Religious Freedom Restoration Act laws, which would enable people or institutions to not recognize LGBTQ+ marriages on the grounds of religious objection or refuse to issue licenses or certify marriages in the first place, again, based on their religion. We saw this happen recently in Syracuse, where a clerk passed the paperwork to a colleague to process because she had a religious objection to doing her job, which is to process state paperwork. And she said that she could not possibly process state paperwork for a gay marriage. Now, that is kind of the best case scenario, that there is someone else to step in for a religious clerk who refuses to process the gay couple's marriage paperwork. But many states and counties have just one person doing that job. There's no one else to pass it to. So if they won't do it, it can't get done. Now, this in itself is a scary but unfortunate possible path for the Trump administration to stop gay marriages from happening. And this language is spelled out as plainly as day in Project 2025. The idea of cutting gay marriage off at the root by simply refusing to issue marriage licenses or certificates. For folks who are already married, like I said, your marriage may no longer meet the burden of proof to qualify as federally or state recognized. And for folks who are already married and we're thinking, well, I'll just get married before Trump becomes president and then I'll be like grandfathered in. No, your marriage could be found no longer meeting the burden of proof to qualify as a federally or state recognized marriage. And Trump said he will do that, okay? And the way he's going to do it is to define marriage as between one man and one woman. We will never be able to take away your wedding day or your love, but they can say that your paperwork is no longer good, that it no longer qualifies for what is recognized as a marriage, essentially disqualifying you from the rights inherent to marriage. So what do? Paperwork. Unfortunately, there are 9 documents that every partnership needs to have to ensure that you can visit your spouse in the hospital, that you can share property, that you can inherit their estate, that you have death rights, that you could take over pet care if you have to, and that established second parent rights. Right now, a lot of second parents in gay marriages, as in like not the birth parent, got their parenting rights through the rights inherent to marriage. If those go away, you could have an issue with that second parent having rights to the child. Our pal, gay lawyer, again, has put those 9 documents together and you can find them at prideplans.com. This is not an ad. This is some mandatory information, and she's been generous enough to make the cost of filing this paperwork extremely affordable, basically just covering the cost it is to file the paperwork so that we can all get our shit together. Specifically, to recreate a marriage on paper, you will need 9 documents: a revocable living trust, the last will and testament, healthcare power of attorney, durable power of attorney, a living will, 2 forms of hospital visitation authorization forms, one for your partner and one for your chosen family or whoever else you would want to give access to you in the hospital in case of emergency. You need an agent for disposition of remains, a pet care directive, and the tangible personal property memorandum. And those are the 9 documents that you need to essentially recreate a marriage at a minimum. And you can get all those documents again at prideplans.com. What are they? A revocable living trust is an arrangement via legal document that gives somebody the power to make decisions about your money or property that is being held within a trust. If your relationship is the castle, the gay lawyer writes, consider this the moat around your castle, protecting you from government and family hostility. It is also a confidential document that is not given to the Register of Wills and acts as a probate avoidance tool, which is extremely helpful to avoid government oversight after you've gone and further ensure that your wishes are respected. Next, what is a durable power of attorney? That is when you give somebody the legal authority to act on your behalf, even if your mental capacity is compromised. Those healthcare documents are important to further make sure that any of your wishes or desires are protected. And as the gay lawyer puts it, even if you're married, you are only considered married in 37 counties out of 195 counties that fly a flag. So, hospital visitation authorization forms are essential for you to travel with. Together, a healthcare power of attorney along with a hospital visitation authorization form will perfect you. Each of the other documents are relatively self-explanatory, things like pet directives, but the gay lawyer breaks everything down in painstaking detail as to why each is essential for upholding your queer marriage. And I feel like it shouldn't come as a surprise as a lesbian in a lesbian marriage that I would care about ways to protect my own lesbian marriage, and I already went through this process and had those 9 documents made. But it might not come as a surprise either that if you're a lesbian in a lesbian marriage or anyone in an anything marriage, I care deeply about you being able to protect yourself as well. And I imagine that the gay lawyer feels the same. And she actually became a lawyer because she was passionate about estate planning after the Terry Schiavo disaster. Terry Schiavo was a married straight woman, and yet her husband's wishes about her end-of-life care were not respected because her family disagreed with him and wanted to keep her alive artificially. It was at that moment that the gay lawyer realized the full importance of LGBTQ+ individuals putting their wishes into writing. And not just us, all y'all. Now, I know all this sounds overwhelming, and honestly, there was a huge amount of grief that I processed before my wife and I went through this, but there are estate planning lawyers out there who have LGBTQ specialists, and hopefully they can help you the way that they helped us, okay? You can also go to prideplans.com, look it all up, print out the documents you want, find a way to file them yourself if you need to, or, like I said, give a lawyer in your town a call, or look up nonprofits that do stuff like this if you can't afford it, because this is mandatory. This is going to be something that we really need to take seriously, especially going into the next 4 years. And again, prideplans.com is not an ad. This is an endorsement of a service that I believe deeply in, and I think you should get your marriage shored up for what we are headed into in the absolute cheapest possible way, right? Because there's going to be other costs associated with just existing that unfortunately will endure. Because our laws are being decided by the ever-turning rusty gears and pinions of an old and outdated machine. They may spin the wheels back to a point in time when the machine didn't work for all Americans. But at the very least, options exist outside this machine that can help serve you and make the world a better place. I hate that I had to make this video. I hate that we have to think about things in this way. But if America is a business, then paperwork is currency, and these 9 documents are what you will need to live the life that you deserve in peace.